Merry Christmas, Steeler Nation, and welcome to a Yuletide special of Strikers Inside Slant. How Rudolph saved Christmas for Steeler Nation. What a game. 2 touchdowns from Mason Rudolph, as many as Kenny Pickett has ever thrown in any football game. And let's talk a little bit about George Pickens, who got thrown under the bus for not blocking. 4 catches, 195 yards, 2 of those 2 touchdowns on 6 targets. What a bombing game for George, bombing game for Mason. I'm excited to have Mason start again this weekend if Kenny doesn't come back, though. Kenny's a winner. Don't get me wrong. Not upset if Kenny comes back in, but we've got to give Mason Rudolph his props and a proper Christmas song. Myron Cope style. Hit it, Myron. Rudolph, the Pittsburgh Steeler, had a very shiny arm. And when he got in the game, he would try to do no harm. All of the Steel Town Yinzers used to laugh and call him names. They bash him like Myles Garrett at the end of football games. Then one chilly Christmas Eve, Tomlin came to say, Rudolph, wish your arm so strong. Go hit Pickens on that long bomb. Then Steeler Nation loved him, and they shouted out with glee, Rudolph the Pittsburgh Steeler, your double yoy and victory. Yoy, 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 yoy. What a great game. Something finally Steeler Nation could rejoice about and be excited about. I can finally take off my Christmas hat. Christmas is over. It's over. It's St. Stephen's Day, Boxing Day. Happy Boxing Day to Yins in Canada. Happy St. Stephen's Day to our Steeler Nation brethren in the Emerald Isle, because that's what they celebrate over there in Ireland, is St. Stephen's Day. Hope you're enjoying your carols, your Wren boys. Hope you're out there shopping like you do in the UK and Canada for Boxing Day. But for the rest of us, we're enjoying a Pittsburgh Steeler victory. I'm also enjoying a Christmas Scotch ale from Bell's Brewery in Michigan. Guys, I don't know what you're drinking. Please tell me what you are. For a proper Steeler Nation cheers. Cheers, Yins. Steeler Nation, this is your show. I've got a lot of topics written down, but you guys usually know how to hit my topics. So I'm going to go through the list, see what you guys are thinking. Miles starting off the show as always. Steelers looking competent. Can't be. Our first 4-quarter game of the year, Miles. Our first 4-quarter game. That's insane. That's something we haven't seen all season. We've been let down. We've had a good first half, or we don't even score in the first half and then come back in the second half. This was our first 4th-quarter game. All 4 quarters, we owned them. Yeah, they outscored us there in the third, but we still managed that game well. It wasn't out of hand. We weren't afraid of losing that football game. I wasn't afraid of. I got 0 heartburn or heart palpitations that game. How did Yins do, Steeler Nation? I know, at least for me, I had a very happy Christmas. Getting my black and gold gear here from Harry Potter. I got my Hogwarts gear. Yes, I am House Hufflepuff. A, because they're black and gold, and B, because I do a little huff and puff. So that's the way it goes in the Stryker household. Don't know how you celebrate, but I'm showing my black and gold from the Hufflepuffs and the Badgers over there at Hogwarts. Miles, and with E-Rob going down, it just convinced me the Steelers continue to prove they are cursed at inside linebacker. Absolutely. But Myles Jack, man, I was not excited to have Myles Jack back on the team. I remember the problems that we had with him. He showed up and played. I give all the props in the world to Myles Jack. I'm happy to have him on the team finishing out this season. And we're going to have to find somebody else to replace Landon Roberts, because now we have lost all 3 inside linebackers that we were going to have. Pat P was looking very good at safety. I think Steelers would benefit keeping him there for the remainder of the season. Steelers have to also think about maybe transitioning Patrick P to safety following the season just to play alongside of Fitzpatrick. Because I think that would be a good progression moving forward. Extend Patrick Peterson's incredible Hall of Fame career the way Rod Woodson's career was extended at safety with the Baltimore Ravens and won a Super Bowl there. That's what I'm looking forward to. We already have our safety in house. We can still draft another one. Don't get me wrong. If the right one comes along, draft him. But let's go. Let's go, Beaver. Michael, Hall of Fame. Merry Christmas, Michael Hall. That game was immaculate in that game. Absolutely. Absolutely, Michael Hall. 24-point lead in the first half. What? I know, right? TJ had that first sack in the first half. I'm like, he's going to get 4. I honestly thought TJ had a shot at like 4 sacks in that game. But they slid him out a little bit. He's still leading the league by 1. Unfortunately, Hendricks got 1 in that game too. I was hoping we kept Hendricks without a sack to help out TJ for the league lead for sacks. Honey Project, the best music on the internet. Honey Project, ladies and gentlemen. Merry Christmas, Stryker. 34 points was a great gift. Absolutely. Nothing like the Cincinnati Bengals to get the Steelers offense moving. 400 yards the first time we saw them. 30 points and a win. The first time we scored 30 points and won a game in 3 years. It's been 3 years still. It hurts my heart. I know it hurts your heart still because we haven't had a runaway win. This was a great win. Absolutely great win. Going to Seattle is going to be a tougher play. They got the 12th man. It's a loud stadium. Is it going to be Rudolph? Is it going to be Pickens? Really, I'd like to see Rudolph again. Rudolph had a damn good game. Great poise. 2 great long balls. As I've been saying for the past 3 years on this show, the best long ball on this roster. And I'm 100% right. Long ball to Pickens, gorgeous. Even the slant route. Slant route was great. I mean, Pickens did that, all the work with his legs. But the deep balls, money with Rudolph. I have 100% confidence in Rudolph's deep ball. It's just making sure we have enough protection to let him throw that deep ball. He looked incredibly poised. The entire offense played with intensity. Blockers were blocking with intensity. Runners were running with intensity. Fantastic job. I liked Robinson stepping back up in that game. Najee with the tough yardage on the ground. Just an all-around fun game to watch on offense, which we have not seen an all-around complete game for the offense this season until this game. What a fun game to watch. And can we build on it? Michael Hall, good in GP shutting up the critics. And that's the thing, guys. Like, everybody was really hard on Deontay Johnson. I remember watching that play in real time, seeing it in real time before they even came back to it. I'm like, oh, Steeler Nation, that's going to be all over the internet after the game. And then the TV broadcast chose to throw Deontay Johnson under the bus on that block or non-block on the interception. And that blew everybody's minds off. George Pickens has been doing the exact same thing this season. I was like, well, he's going to get a pass because he's George Pickens. Previous game, watching Warren get tackled instead of blocking that guy that would have gave him a touchdown. Watched it. Would have given us enough points to at least be in that game. Didn't come in, didn't do his job. And fortunately, he came back in this game. Absolutely did come back in this game, and I'm happy he did. Brian Brown, welcome back to the show, my friend. I'm delusional for wanting Rudolph. Been hearing it 2 years. Football justice at last, Stryker. I know. You and I both been talking about the deep ball from Rudolph. Exactly. And I did not want Trubisky at all this season. After he came in spot duty a couple times to start a game, I'm like, I want Rudolph. And now we all see what Rudolph can do. Rudolph knows this all. He's been in this offense for 5 years. Guy can play. And does not get the respect that he deserves. Defense went off. It helps with the defense going off when the offense is controlling the football, throwing up points. Because this is the first time, Michael Hall, that we threw up points, so the other team has to score. But they can't run the football. They have to throw the football. And what happened? We got 3 interceptions. 3. Because we knew they had to throw the ball. Offense helped make that team one-dimensional. That's what we needed out of our offense all season long. Finally got it to showcase how good and opportunistic this defense can be when our offense is just efficient. That was just efficiency. Like, we didn't put like 30's awesome for us. Don't get me wrong. But in a league that's been putting up 60s and 70s this season, and we're excited about 30, like 40 would be a game where I'm like, this is where the offense is definitely dominating. They were efficient in this game, made the plays they had to. Rudolph on a lot of good third down conversions, hitting the deep ball, hitting the slant route, which is a route we, for some reason, didn't even have with the two previous quarterbacks. And it turns into a touchdown. And Deontay Johnson could turn that play into a touchdown too. And Antonio Brown used to turn that play into touchdowns. Juju Smith-Schuster used to turn that play into touchdowns. Hines Ward used to turn that play into touchdowns. That slant and just rip up through the rest of the D. I've seen it from all of those wide receivers on the X side. Absolutely. And even Santonio Holmes being a wide receiver just like George Pickens. Great jobs. What did you get for Christmas? I got my black and gold. I got my Hogwarts. I got a scarf. I got a matching hat. I couldn't find the hat. I was going to wear it tonight. Couldn't find the hat. It's somewhere around the house. And I got matching socks. They're matching black and gold Hogwarts socks. I'm Team Hufflepuff. Go Quidditch. What'd you get for Christmas? Yeah, I got that. I got a lot. I got some beer. I'm still drinking beer. What are you guys drinking tonight? Cheers to Steeler Nation. I got a couple whiskeys, couple scotches. So it's been a good. I got a Lagavulin 16. So I'm a very happy man for Christmas. It's basically all I need. I got a pickleball net. I got some pickleballs. I'm playing a little bit of pickleball. I'm terrible at it. I'm like a 2. If you guys know pickleball, I'm like a 2. But I'm fun. I always wear incredible socks and great outfits and try to do as best as I can to match my outfits. Drew Belansky, welcome back to the show, Drew. Cheers. Hope your holiday was great, Stryker. Thank you, and I hope yours was as well, my friend. Excellent beard, my friend. You're showing me up in the beard department. Yoder! Welcome back to the show, Yodes. Hello there, Stryker. Hope you had a Merry Christmas. Our Pittsburgh Steelers are 8-7, looking to go 9-7 with a win over the Seahawks. Rudolph saved the day Saturday. Let's go, Steelers. What a fantastic game and great take there. Honey Project 100% 420 friendly. So it makes our hearts happy to know that you are there as well. I only learned how to start doing it 2 years ago when my brother lost his wife, unfortunately, in a tragedy. And I spent 3 months with him, and he taught me, like, I couldn't smoke pot because this pot's just so incredible now. Like, it destroys you. And I'm like, I can't smoke a joint. I'm like annihilated. I can't even share a joint. I'm annihilated. He's like, you ever hear of a one-hitter? I'm like, a what? A one-hitter. One-hitters have changed my life. I hit like a one-hitter once or twice a week. Golden. And when I give up drinking again after I go through my whiskeys and my beers, I'm almost through my beers. My Christmas 6-pack mixer that I'm doing right now. As soon as I'm through my beers, I'm going to go through my whiskeys, and I'm probably going to go scot-free at New Year and maybe a little smoke here and there, be a California sober human being on the Stryker Inside Slants. But I do have my smokes down here as well. Might hit one a little later on. Brian Brown, it's crazy how crazy we are. It's pitchforks and torches one week, and then we're back. Exactly. It's being a Pittsburgh Steeler fan. Everything is right as rain when you're winning and dominating. Everything is fire the coach, throw the baby out with the bathwater when you lose. And we've had some bad losses this season. I completely understand every single way Steeler Nation has reacted, and felt throughout this entirely trying, heart-wrenching season. This is one of the toughest seasons on my heart. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm fairly athletic. I've got a decent ticker, but holy Hades. This has been a tough season to like eke out close fourth quarter after fourth quarter win when we had Kenny Pickett in the early part of the season when he was going 7-2. And then he starts getting banged up and we start losing games. It's been a trying year at best. But We still have 2 more games to play and a chance to still hit double-digit wins. A chance. Rudolph over Pickett. Bo going hard. Rudolph over Pickens. That's a hard take, and I'll take that, Bo. I'll take that. Miles, if the Steelers beat the Ravens, I'm going to laugh. We could have the best in the conference record in the North. That's it, guys. We might go 5-1 in the conference and miss the playoffs. That can statistically happen. Have the best conference record, like divisional record, not conference record, divisional record. Have the best divisional record and miss the playoffs. Because if we win out, we're going to have better than Ravens. And I know they've got a loss to Cleveland. They got a loss to us. That's 2 losses. They'll have 3 if they lose to us. And we'd be 5-1 and may miss the playoffs. Unheard of. Crazy year. We lost the games we shouldn't have. That's what it comes down to. But Lansky, it's amazing what happens when you get competent quarterback play. Exactly. Like, if we had Rudolph for those other 2 games, we would be sitting right now at 11 wins. 7, 8, 9. We'd be at 10 wins right now. We'd be at 10 wins if we had Rudolph for the 2 previous games. That's what kills me on the inside. Absolutely kills me. Joey Porter, King of the North. Exactly. Joey Porter, as I like to call him, drive killer. Did a great job yet again for us. Still building. I saw one of our authors over at SteelerNation.com did put out, said, you got to change your gloves, Joey Porter. And that means good cornerbacks will match the color of their gloves that they're wearing to the jerseys of the teams that they're playing. Got to do it. Especially if you're a handsy corner like Joey Porter. Start wearing white gloves at home and get a bunch of gloves to match on the road to the exact same color DPI of the team that you're playing. Because then they can't see the clutch and grabs. Absolutely not. Michael Scott Joyner. I believe Tomlin said Pickett is out for Seattle. I did not hear that. I heard that. Pickett. Kenny Pickett. I heard Kenny Pickett may come back for Seattle. I did hear somebody was ruled out. Elandon Roberts is the only one I heard that was ruled out. He did say that Rudolph is starting the week as the starter. He said Kenny will get snaps and we'll see how his mobility is by the 3rd practice to determine on whether or not he can play in Seattle. So they're doing all the right stuff. He's not out. Watch the practice participations as they start coming up Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Brian Brown. Also, the Bengals stink. Record doesn't matter. The Bengals stink. And guys, here's a record that is great. Here's a record that Hilton was throwing in our face at the beginning of the season. I'm 3-1 against the Steelers. Hilton was throwing that in our face. 3-1 against my old team. 3-1. There's a reason. There was a reason. He had to pick 6 in one of the games. But now, Hilton, you're 3-3 against your old team. Back down to 500, buddy. Enjoy it. Enjoy your time in Queen City when you're playing for the Bungles. Michael Hall, I expect us to do the same this Saturday at Seattle. Going to be a little bit difficult due to the crowd noise, though, but I hope we pull through. I do too, Michael Scott. It's always a tough crowd in Seattle, and the 12th man is no joke. Miles, I believe in Miles Jack from the start. Yes, you did. You proved me wrong. You said believe in the Miles. I was wrong. I didn't cash in my airline miles, but I'm cashing them in now. Thanks to Miles for telling me about Miles to cash in my miles. Done. Cheers, my friend. Brian Brown, Rudolph is a victim of his teammates' turnovers and drops, and James Conner couldn't get it going either in Pittsburgh. Well, he can't. James Conner's a good player. I'm not going to blame that on James Conner. I'm going to blame getting concussed on an illegal hit against the Ravens for definitely like derailing his chance to be the successor of Ben Roethlisberger. Because if he would have played that entire rest of the season at his confidence level when he started, we would have made the playoffs that year. No question. And Duck wouldn't have played. And it would have been a heck of a year. Absolutely a heck of a year. Miles, Highsmith's INT was absolutely crazy. Agreed. And Peterson's INT was super timely. Like, that was a situation where Cincinnati's going to score points. They're deep in our territory. It's still early in the game. We're kind of worried about them. Maybe they can come back. Peterson's INT was probably the biggest play of the game for me. I think that was the one that really turned points into opportunity. When we go down and score again, absolutely incredible. Jimmy Pittman, welcome to the show, Jimmy. Mason is way better than Baby Fingers and Mitch Trubisky. Good take. Thanks for the laugh, man. I enjoy you on the show. Keep bringing them. Miles, I'm predicting Watt will break the sack record in these last 2 games. Well, he's got a long way to go, Miles. He's at 17 with 2 to play. He needs to hit 24. 18, 19, 20. He needs 7 sacks in 2 games. Unless he goes sick house, I just don't see it. But I think he has a legitimate shot at 20 sacks this season. Absolutely think he has a legitimate shot at 20 sacks this season. Brian Brown, hope you all had a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Thanks, Brian. Same to you, my friend. Cheers, Stryker. Cheers! Carlos, Daniel, Gonzalez, Litos in the house. Guys, go to SteelerNation.com. Steeler Nation Forum is filled with all sorts of incredible, intelligent people, including Litos, who is a.k.a. Carlos Daniel Gonzalez from Venezuela, who helps me out every draft day with his great draft boards, which I use as part of my show. So if you guys want excellent conversation when I'm not on the air, go to SteelerNation.com, click on the football forum. It's free to join, and it's a blast. Absolute blast. Michael Hall, I'm glad we got back-to-back wins in honor of James Franco. Last year in his jersey retirement, we beat Las Vegas on the walk-off touchdown. And this past Saturday, won on the day anniversary of the Immaculate Reception. We got to keep that in mind. That's a good call, Michael Hall, to see how well we keep doing on the Immaculate Reception anniversary dates. Chow, Dad back in the house. Hey, Stryker, do the Steelers have another loop in this Jekyll and Hyde roller coaster season? Absolutely. But nothing is going to be more Pittsburgh Steelers than for us to finish 10 wins and miss the playoffs. I absolutely see that happening this season. I see us winning this week. I see the Ravens winning this week and resting everyone next week. And we'll win the next week and won't be able to come back. Bo, Bird Dog Whiskey Blackberry, I'm celebrating with. Thank you, Bo. Bo, I'm a big fan of Bird Dog Whiskey. I've got a Bird Dog myself. It's the Browns fan, Wiesla, that's in the house. And if you know from drinking Bird Dog Whiskey, the Wiesla is the peanut butter whiskey. So that is usually what I buy for my house. I've got Sheepdog upstairs, which is the peanut butter that I'm drinking with my Hershey's Yingling Porters to make a Reese's stout when you drop a shot of peanut butter whiskey in your Reese's Porter. It makes for a good Reese's drink. Corey Frank, if I'm not mistaken, if we get in as a number 7, if we beat Seattle and beat the Ravens, the Colts goes to Atlanta. And if I'm not mistaken, week 17, the Colts and Texans play each other. So they both could very well have 8 losses while we go 10-7. I would love to sneak in the playoffs while all the AFC teams are playing like crap, except for the Ravens. But again, we always play the Ravens good. We absolutely do, Corey Frank. And that's a great, great call. And a great thing. Merry Christmas all. Merry Christmas to you, Robert. What did you get for Christmas, my friend? Brian Davis, Porter Jr. being the highest penalized defensive back in the NFL doesn't surprise me at all. And I'm not upset by it because he's still one of the highest rated corners in the NFL. And it's only his rookie year. He's only going to get better. Hell, it took 3 years for Ike Taylor to even get on the field. I am not worried about Joey Porter's progression. He's mentally tough. He's got a mentally tough dad to be able to mentor him. No qualms at all with Joey Porter. Love the draft pick. We got 2 first-rounders. Joey Porter should have been a first-rounder. No question about it. And at 32, he normally would be a first-rounder. Tomorrow, just as pretend Steeler fans were pretending when they were talking about the preseason meaning anything, so they were talking about the Bengals being worst defense in the league as a litmus test twice. Yeah, but at least we beat them. Yup. Thank you, Ray. Welcome back to the show, my friend. All preseason to start the year, regularly predict at least 9-8. There's a good possibility that'll happen, but not because of the Bengals litmus test. Yeah, we may go 9-8. Absolutely. Heart attacking. Exactly. Miles, we might be seeing Devin Bush as a starter next week. Najee and Warren will be having a field day. Wow, you're right. That would be interesting to see our running backs go up against Devin Bush. Nothing would make me happier than to see Devin Bush take a Najee Harris stiff arm. Absolutely would love that. When I watch a regular season game, it's only to see how good the team can be. When the real season begins, to see if they can even win one playoff game. Regular season record is completely meaningless, but it gives a good indication on how the team will do in the real season. Though you have to have enough wins to make the postseason. Progressively, in the last 13 years, each year, I've seen less and less and less of the team. They can do anything at all in the playoffs, regardless of whether it makes the playoffs also meaningless. And the interesting thing, like now for me, Robert, is like we're playing our best football with Mason Rudolph as our quarterback. Like that is the kicker for me. Bengals! I know, Alex. I know. Real Steelers fans know the Immaculate Reception was a big deal because it meant one playoff win, the first one. Yep. So that's the standard. Corey Frank, we get in if Atlanta beats the Colts and the Raiders beat the Texans, and we win our Week 17, and the Texans play the Colts. That's it. That's it. That's the path to the playoffs. 7 years without a single playoff win has always been unacceptable to Steelers. Even 40 years they sucked, and that's why they kept them getting new coaches. Yeah, but that was also the rotation base of all those old teams and terrible teams like the Steelers were from the 30s up through the 70s, up until they hit 69 when they got Coach Noll. Yes! So you're all tripping if you disagree with any of that because you've been actual standard lies have been regurgitated for a decade. Porter versus DK is going to be a very interesting watch. Absolutely. Absolutely. There's zero chance the Steelers can recreate the sound that will be overwhelming them in Seahawks Stadium. Heinz Field is not nearly as loud. Completely agree. I've been to many different football stadiums. Any dome, Seattle, Baltimore. They're all louder stadiums than Heinz Field. Why? Because we have an open end. No other team has an open end stadium. That makes so that the volume just goes right out the open end. So no. Heinz Field will never be as loud as those places. You're exactly right. Seahawks Stadium is louder than Acres. Sure, there are plenty of others, including Indianapolis, by the way. Yeah, any dome. Any dome is louder than, but for an outdoor stadium, it was intentionally built to focus all of the acoustics down to the field. And if you see the way it's built, they have all the higher levels like pitched down straight at the field. Really an interesting stadium and beautiful stadium to see if you're there. Brian Davis. Since the Ravens got a win and Indy took a loss, Steelers have a 90% chance to make the playoffs if we win out. Wow, that's high. Yeah, if we win out, that would be fun. Thank you, Brian. Mason Rudolph outplayed Kenny and Mitchell 2 years ago in training camp. Tomlin Steelers are not a mediocrity, so he's done black flips, not give Mason a chance until now. Well, right now, Mason is earning it. Cleo Mack got 6 in one game. You're right. It is possible. Cheers, Ray! Ray Grigo! Gracias. Cheers to you, my friend. Salud. Next up, Miles. And he would need 23, not 24. No, he has. That's right. He's at 22 and a half. You're right. Thank you. 6 sacks. That's right. Sorry. I thought he was at 23 and a half to set the record. When he had the record, you're right. It's 22 and a half sacks. Correct. So, right. So he only needs 6. 3 each in the next 2 games. So, yes, he has a shot. I meant Franco. Yeah, we know exactly who you meant. No, you never have to apologize to me. Come on, Michael Hall. Punswick, welcome back to the show, Scotty. So happy for Mason Rudolph. He's gotten deserved much better than he's gotten in Pittsburgh. Exactly. Coach Hubbard, welcome to the show, Coach. 49ers fans aren't calling for the coach to be fired after that loss. Why are people calling for Tomlin? Don't know. Because we lost to 2 really crappy teams ahead of time. Good to see X on here. I didn't think X was even working, so I'm glad to see some X comments. X, keep commenting if you're on here. Thank you, Coach Hubbard. Welcome to our show. Michael Hall, so we need Bengals, Colts, and Bills to lose at least 2 games, and we need to win out at least 2 to be a 7 seed. That looks about right. Chow, Dad. Joey Porter Jr. will be fine. Our vets will teach him some tricks to duck flags. Chuck Noll won at least 1 playoff game in over 50% of the seasons. Bill Cowher won at least 1 playoff game, about 70% or more of the seasons. Mike Tomlin won 1 playoff game in 22% of the seasons. There you go. Playoff stats don't lie. Who day? We day, Alex Head. We day. Kind of weird. 49ers had a period of 4 games just like us where they lost 3 just like us. Exactly. They definitely did. Robert, P.S. I haven't checked those exact numbers in a while. So Bill might be about 2/3 of the time, and Chuck is around half. But just over Tomlin to know about 23% of the time, that's just unacceptable. Anyone responding that winning 1 playoff game every 4 years isn't bad, and realizing there's 2 decades ago when Tomlin did the winning, it's much lower than 22% in the last 13 years. For me, it's about winning Super Bowls. And we haven't been to a Super Bowl since 2010. And you're right, that ain't good enough, Robert. Absolutely ain't good enough. Guys, be sure to let your friends know if you like the show. Like it, smash the like button. Share it with your friends. Say, hey, guys, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, Tuesdays on the Steeler Nation networks, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. Stryker goes live. It's your show, your Q&A. Follow me over here at Steeler Nation Stryker, SNSTRYKERY, because I'm crazy about those damn Steelers. And I will post on usually I post on X to let everybody know I'm going to be shooting up, but I always post over at SteelerNation.com football forum to let everybody know I'm jumping on as well. That's how we get our football forum people over here as well. This is your show, guys. We're only 30 minutes in. Your questions, your comments, you got some more, you please let me know. I'll give a couple more of my thoughts coming up here while you guys are ramping up your questions. Miles, top 2 picks, right tackle so Jones can go back to left and center. Completely agree. I completely agree. Ray, if you're a true Steeler fan, you know we actually lose to teams that are winless. It's happened. We tied to a winless team against Detroit. Miles, did you see Warren's block? He decleated the dude. Absolutely awesome block, Miles. Great point in that game. And so nice to see Miles lead by example, because it was George Pickens that did not throw that block in the previous game where Miles was like, I'll show you how it's done, young buck. Boom! Big block. Big block. All right, guys. It's now time on the show where Stryker's going to take a little celebratory smoke. I live in the state of Maryland. We have legalized marijuana in the state of Maryland. So I get to have a little one-hitter here on the show. I had one once before. I did it the show that we first legalized marijuana, but now I'm doing it on this show for you specifically because I've already been drinking all day. I've been drinking my birthday presents all day. I had to finish off the cooler that we had set up from Christmas yesterday. Little Christmas toke to keep the merry cheer going along. Little green and with the green and red for County Mayo and for Christmas. Cheers. That's how it's done, ladies and gentlemen. That's all I need. I'm a lightweight. I am a 1-pump dude. Really, I can't have any more than 1 toke. Otherwise, my night is ruined. And there's still certain strains that just annihilate me. I have to have the sativa blends. The indicas just knock me out. Don't know what you guys do as well. Pump Bass Polanski. Hell yeah, my friend. You have one as well, I hope. So jet sweeps do work when done right. Yeah, when we watch other teams do it, they're freaking phenomenal. I think it's the 49ers. I watched them run a jet sweep with their really fast receiver, and it worked perfectly. Hell yeah! That's the way, guys. Ray, here in New Mexico as well. Oh, Nuevo Mexico. Gracias. Se bueno, se bueno. I love that, Grigo. Love it. Timburo. Architecture reveals much about people who built it, and the Steelers were sold out when they built Heinz Field to look good and not sound good. Well, they were in the mindset, Robert, of Like, they built one of the most beautiful ballparks in PNC Park. And PNC Park is completely open to the river on the third base side, and it is gorgeous. Absolutely breathtaking. If you're sitting anywhere on first base side or upper right field, you got a gorgeous, gorgeous view of the water in the city. And that was their thinking then when they moved to build Acrisure Stadium. Or at the time, it was called Heinz Field. You're right. But when they went to build Heinz in 2001, to have it open in 2001, when they started building it, they're like, let's utilize this beautiful water space. And I love it because I have a seat for my seasons where to the right side of the scoreboard, I can see the fountain when that's running there at the confluence of the three rivers. And to the left of the scoreboard, I can see the city skyline. I have a gorgeous view of the city, but it's not as loud as Three River Stadium. No way. Three River Stadium was loud. That place would shake when it got loud. Heinz Field is just too open. Too open. It's not a complete circle like that, but it's a beautiful stadium. They could add more seats if they'd like, but I think they're done adding seats there once they filled out underneath the scoreboard. Still, gorgeous. It's a gorgeous stadium. They went more for aesthetics than for sound. I think the next time the Steelers build a stadium, they'll probably go for sound and seats. Ray, cheers. Cheers, my friend. Salud. Salud. Drew, Stryker, do you know if there is any truth to Andy Weidel, going to Washington? That could happen. Washington is completely like dumping everything. Though, like, because Weidel, he's an assistant GM. Weidel can go someplace and be a GM. Washington would be smart to take him because they know how good Weidel was when he was helping out in Philly. So they want to get that intelligence in their home place as well, which is smart. It would be smart as hell. Though, if they bring Weidel in, something might happen which Tamburo would be really happy about, and that would be having the general manager fight to trade for Mike Tomlin to be Washington's new head coach. Especially if they decide to change their name to the Red Tails, launch out a great black coach as the Red Tails take the field next year. Talk about a beautiful moment for the NFL. And we get at least 2 first-round draft picks there, Tamburo. I know we like talking about that. Steeler Wade! Wade, how you doing, my friend? Great to see you, my friend. Guys, check out the Steeler Wade show. He's got a great show as well. Stryker, picking up my phone to set my alarm for the morning. Have a great night. I'll listen then. Pretty win. I know, man. How great is it to see finally where we had a win that we could relax and enjoy. Thank you for the Christmas gift, Mason Rudolph. Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas! 2010 was the last year of 2 decades ago. So we're in the mindset of 2 decades running out, sucking when we pretend regular season means something, which is a lie. You're going to get the best of me now reading. When I'm reading now, like you've got tuned up Stryker now. Spencer, glorious beard, by the way, Drew Belansky. Exactly, Drew. Epic beard, my friend. Tamburo! If he is right, Andy Weidel is going to leave the Steelers, then they're in big trouble because all those big personnel moves weren't Omar. They were Andy. I will say the end of the draft moves, like 7th round, was the same strategy that the Eagles had been using in previous drafts. Eagles generally like to take risks on players of high pedigree that may have gotten injured in college, or linemen that are just workhorses. And Spencer's been on our roster all season as our backup everything lineman, but really we've had a healthy line, so we really haven't had to start him. Mostly interior, though, for a Spencer. But that is specifically a Weidel type pick. And going for all of the talent from the Purdue Trice. Oh, man, that guy's got all the talent in the world, and maybe starting opposite of Porter if he comes back healthy and plays like he did last training camp. True. That was my Insta. I thought that was Washington would probably try to get Tomlin. Makes sense for them. It does. It really does. But it makes even more sense for them too, Drew, if they get Andy Weidel to be their GM. That even makes even more sense. And starts opening up the chance of us getting some extra draft picks. Ugh, Miles not having a vein pop during a Steeler game. I don't know how to feel about this. Me too, my friend. Absolutely, me too. Oh, geez. Robert, Omar, some money guy who is clueless with personnel stuff after the first 2 weeks of not getting his stuff when he asked Rooney to hire someone who knows how to do. I assume that's the way the conversation went. You were there. I just messed with my friend. But I think Omar Khan is smart enough to know to surround himself with intelligent people. That's what good leaders do. Surround yourself with intelligent people to make your job better and to show how good you can do your job to free you up to do the things you do best. And that's fine. And even if Omar Khan does the salary stuff and works contracts the best, he can bring in football minds to help them develop and build teams, which that past draft was, they hit it out of the park. It was a perfect draft. It was the most perfect draft I've ever seen for the Steelers from stem to stern. All those players can be rostered, every single one, for years to come. Years to come. And they weren't even needs. We drafted completely on BPA. We didn't have to go for need. I mean, yeah, we wanted a corner. Finally got a chance at a top 3 left tackle, which we never got a shot at. And statistically, in every draft we've ever been in, we haven't been able to even hit a top 3 left tackle since the 60s. The 60s. It's been insane. How good have we been? Thanks, guys. You're welcome, my friend. Anytime, Drew. Adam Bomb. Boom. Adam in the house. This was the first game I was able to take our kids to. How do I break it to them that it's all downhill after that? Well, at least that was a good game to see. Absolutely great game to see. And I'm glad you got to enjoy that with your entire family. Adam. Michael, I want to see next Steeler Stadium to be like Penn State's, have 100,000 seats and to be in a dome. I'm just dreaming here, but hey, anything can happen in the near future for the team. Your thought on it? I think the only thing that kind of intrigues me for the Steelers putting up a dome and give the Steelers some incentive for putting up a dome would be it would open up the possibility for the Steelers to host a Super Bowl. Because after that New York City fiasco on that cold-ass game where all the billionaires are like, oh, my money's not keeping me warm. They're like, we got to move this stuff back to the warm climates or in a dome. And I think that's the only way Pittsburgh would ever see a Super Bowl if they have a dome. I've been to dome stadiums. It's weird. It's weird, guys. If you've never been to a domed game in your life, it's like going to watch a football game in a movie theater. It's weird. It's like you're in this climate-controlled room and you're rooting for football. Like you're not expecting football to be played in a climate-controlled room. I've seen it in St. Louis at the Superdome, or what were they? Were they Superdome? I think Superdome might have been New Orleans, but the dome that used to be in St. Louis is at that one. I've been to the Superdome in New Orleans as well. I've been to the Cowboys $1 billion complex that they're looking to rebuild again, and so yeah, those where it's like it's just weird to watch a football game in the middle of winter with ice and snow outside and everybody inside in shorts. It's weird. It's just a weird way to watch football. Robert, we fans of True Steeler Nation may need Dan Rooney's grandkid Dan to come in because Art Rooney II has always sucked since decades before he was owner. He was disliked by true Steeler fans. Tell us, please remind the rest of Steeler Nation why he was so disliked. The fish rots from the head and the piss trickles down from the top, and Art Rooney too needs to go. Interesting. The nepotism for the first 40 years of the Steelers is what was the hire Francis. Francis Koshin, who might hire his friends on his staff. Chuck Noll was never BFFs with the Chief or Dan, even though there were mutual respect and love in the same game. Same goes for Bill Cowher. Both Noll and Cowher, though, played for the Browns. I always love the perspective of all the stuff that Cleveland Browns missed out on and the Steelers benefited from. Could have drafted Ben Roethlisberger. Ben Roethlisberger beat you in all but like 4 games in his 17-year career. Chuck Noll and Bill Cowher both played for your team and ended up both becoming Super Bowl winning Hall of Fame coaches for your biggest rival. Not our biggest rival, it's the Ravens, but your biggest rival. It's not even your state brother there. It's always everybody's biggest rival in the AFC North is the Pittsburgh Steelers. But other teams might have been in the conversation had Noll gone to the Browns, had Cowher gone to the Browns, had the Browns gotten Bill Parcells or Bill Belichick back somehow after they came back in the league. I don't know how they would have done it, but could have happened. And look at what would have happened then. What would happen then? Miles Jones is such a good pickup. He embodies what it means to be a Steeler. Exactly. Our Rooney too, Mike Tomlin have never been super close BFFs for well over a decade. Well, that bodes well because neither was Noll and Cowher with the rest of them. Drew, I'm still bummed that Trice got hurt in camp. Me too, man. That's been the biggest injury hit to me other than all the inside linebackers going down. That's it. Man, if he followed suit like Joey Porter Jr., our defense backs would be insane. Something to look forward to next year, my friend. Let's stroke that beard to calm ourselves down. Because next year, I think the Steeler Nation is going to be saying Porter and Trice for years to come. They are both very talented, very tall, long, lanky, fast corners. Both are good at man. It's going to be fun to be a Steeler fan watching us shut down their top 2 receivers moving forward. To Burrow, Stryker, you're describing how gorgeous Heinz Field is. Completely 100% my point. They did that at sacrifice of the crowd, being the 12th man of the team. Exactly. I completely agree with that. And I've stated that ever since I walked into Heinz Field and noted ever since 2001 that it's not even as loud as the furnace. The blast furnace. Three Rivers Stadium. Steelers architecture decides 100% new crowd. The crowd would not be loud because it took Purdy that was sacrificed the 12th man, but also sold out and made it Purdy. It was Purdy. Though, I think, I'm trying to remember the year. It might have been they stopped it in the 90s. But there used to be a rule in the NFL that if your stadium was too loud, you got a 5-yard penalty. And New Orleans Saints always used to get banged for those in the 90s because their stadium was too loud. Absolutely dumb. But there's other penalties for like pumping in crowd noise, like what the Colts would do. Having crowd noise on the loudspeakers as the crowd was roaring, feedback in it. Yeah, that stuff's not legal, but happens. I'm just interested to know if that was the same year. If the room cared about the team winning and winning playoffs more than they cared about making money, would have made it close to the stadium. That was loud. Oh, sorry, it's Miles' turn. Purdy got exposed yesterday. Love to see it. I'd love to expose him. Man, we look bad. My raincoat is also a Cleveland guy, and Bob Labriola has family there as well. And I think Stan Severin has ties there too, doesn't he? Yeah, I think they do. Like, I mean, essentially, like Cleveland's our sister city. It's the closest major city to Pittsburgh. Because I think the 2 hours to that is still closer. I think it's like 2.5, 3 hours to Buffalo from Pitt. Otherwise, if you're going the other way, it's like 4 hours to Baltimore, 4 hours to 3.5, 4 to Harrisburg. Yeah, your biggest major city is Cleveland, 2 hours. So yeah, there's a reason why you have a lot of Cleveland Pittsburgh connections, but it's really interesting to see how tilted that the Cleveland Pittsburgh connections have been toward the Pittsburgh Steelers. Not my raincoat. That's my raincoat. I love that spell check. That was a top spell check for Myron Cope. Here's Myron Cope coming with your Steelers. Yoy and double yoy. Absolute favorite guy ever. It's the reason why I picked Cope as my first avatar over at the Steeler Nation forum before they made me use my real name since I'm around on the internet somehow. Miles, I love how the AFC North is just a four-way FU shouting contest. Nobody is safe here. Exactly. It's like the Spider-Man. All the Spider-Mans pointing at each other in that division. Robert, for John Gruden, they got 2 first picks plus a second round plus $8 million. Exactly. Heck, if the Steelers wanted, they could get that for Tomlin and then hire drunk Gruden. Get him too. Yeah, they could. Technically, they could. Drew Polanski. Miles, so true. Tamburo. Don't even know how John drinks. That's a typo. Went with the drunk thing. That's fine. More evidence of time and lies about us. Says Omar going to be a big risk taker. I know what that means because he's not. But Andy is. Okay, obviously, it was a risk to allow Andy to make some decisions. So, I'm not going to one fault these guys. Gets lit. Love the name. Love the name. Go Pens. I'm gay. William Gay. Are you big play? Willie Gay gets lit. Because we love you on the show. I just got lit a little earlier on the show. We are green friendly. So welcome to the show, my friend. And that's Mike Tomlin. Regulate lies of the fence. Including when he said Omar is the big risk taker. Mike T lies the fans, not fence. Yes. We know what you're saying. Yeah, but I'm not as harsh on Mike Tomlin as I know you are. I know you got a thing for him. Not a big deal. Still good. Len, happy Kwanzaa to you as well, guys. I know Hanukkah's well over. Happy New Year's coming up as well. Not Chinese New Year's. We got another month for that. But yeah, we get solstice we just passed, Festivus for the rest of us. I hope everybody has enjoyed all of their holidays tremendously, especially Christmas yesterday, St. Stephen's Day today. We got some St. Stephen's Day celebrations. We go around, we sing lots of carols, walking with dead birds. We got dead wrens in our hands and you're walking around singing carols. It's because that's just what we do. Not sure even how to do a gritty. I know gritty from the mascot of the Flyers, but I don't necessarily know how to do it. I know how to floss. I don't necessarily know how to gritty. Miles, Robert secretly loves Tomlin, and he's just playing hard to get. That's why, guys, I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for giving me a Christmas present of laughter, because we all know each other. We all, we'll take shots at each other, but we all love each other. And that's the important thing on my show. And that's what I love about you guys. Yeah, we can dig our brother. We can make fun of our own brother. Nobody else can make fun of our own brothers except ourselves, because that's the way it goes. I'm Matt Canada. Oh, it's the Canada Burner. Welcome to the show, Matt. Awesome. Welcome back to your city. We love you. I hope you're doing well in your life's work, which is also something that Noel always used to say, getting on with your life's work. Don't know if you're going to be going back to college or not. What do you think of our team performance now since you've left? Things you would have done differently, things you like. Love to hear from you. Drew, if only the team were prepared to face AFC teams outside of the AFC North. Well, that's what you're supposed to be built for, Drew. You're supposed to be built for the teams that are good in your division and the way your division plays football, because half of your games are played divisionally. 8, right? Or 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Damn it. It's only 6. Not even half anymore. Damn. They changed the league. Damn, I forgot we're not in a 5-game division anymore. Back when half of our games used to be played interdivisionally, when we had the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Houston Oilers in our division with the orange teams. Oh, man, it's been a while. So, yeah, only 6 this time, which is like a third. But that's your path to the playoff. If you win in your division, you win your tiebreaks within the division, gives you the best chance of making the playoffs. Usually you win your division if you have the best divisional record. 9 times out of 10, you're winning your division with the best divisional record. Absolutely. Cower interviewed this week and said he did not hire friends. He purposely hired people with different ways of thinking than him. Yeah, and he had some crappy offensive coordinators too, my friend. Gilbride, holy crap, was he horrible. Trying to make Stewart a pocket passer. Dog crap. Absolute dog crap with Gilbride. That was a bad move for Tomlin, or for Cowher. They all make mistakes. They all have pluses and minuses. I'm not saying one's even better than the other. I love Cowher. I love Tomlin. I'm just saying there are pluses and minuses to both of those coaches. Pluses and minuses to Noel as well. I mean, you're the one who kills Tomlin on loyalty to players. Cowher was loyal to players to a fault, which is the reason why we kept Gilbert at the end of his career, as opposed to letting Vrabel take his spot. And Vrabel goes and becomes a Hall of Famer over on the Cheaters. Those are some of the aspects that I was not as happy about with Cowher. And then, of course, Noel, to a fault, was loyal to his guys as well. Kind of strung on those 80s defenses, those 70s defenses as far as he could into the 80s. And then once he had to start rebuilding, it took him time, and we had some bad years. All right, where are we at? There you go, Miles. Matt Canada drawing up a new jet sweep concepts, except this time Broderick is the runner. We've got Broderick Jones in as an eligible. He's eligible. Splits out, takes the ball. That'd be awesome. Cameron Dover, welcome to the show, Cameron. I like to watch my knee grow. I hope that's spell check for Heine. Chuck Noll changed the biggest loser team ever to the biggest winner team ever by not hiring friends and not hiring people who had to think just like him, just like Bill Cowher did, maybe. True. But again, if we win in Baltimore, we finish 5-1 in the North and out of the playoffs. Shaking my head over here. Make it make sense. That's exactly, I said that at the top of the show, Drew. It's like we might go 5-1 in this division and miss the playoffs. That's insane to think. Insane, especially with as tough as this division is and how loose our schedule was with the divisions we were playing. And to tell me we were going to go 5-1 at the beginning of the season, I'm like, are we the 1 seed or the 2 seed in the AFC? No, you didn't make the playoffs. That might be happening. We'll have to see. Mike Tomlin hired that's offensive defense coordinators from his first college job in the administration. Some little losing North Carolina school that's who Filter and Butler are. Yeah. Matt Canada helped Dino get at that first college. He's very close with Mike Tomlin. When Hines Ward and Kevin Green and Rod Woodson got turned down to be assistant coaches, it's because they would be more loved than Mike than himself. I disagree with that. They had other opportunities. They took the other opportunities. Bruce Arians, Mike Munchak, Dick LeBeau were all more loved by the players than Mike Tomlin, so we don't hold on to them. Well, we had Joey Porter. He was a well-loved player to be a coach here as well. So in the words of Lloyd Christmas, so you're telling me there's a chance. There is a chance. There's a chance. I may need grow. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah, dude, it's nuts. Robert Taberto. Mike Tomlin hires guys who are fans and will do just like he thinks like are him. So very rude is unacceptable and Steeler-like. Fickner Butler had a losing record with Tomlin at school, but promised they bring them all up, and he did. Miles, what if we just tell the NFL administrators no if they deny us from the playoffs? I'd love that. Oh, Mike Tomlin doesn't hire guys who are staying different than him. He hires guys all fans of him, but that's how Bill or Chuck were. I don't know. He's very open-minded from what I hear. Scott Brunswick, any word on Casey's appeal? Nice to have him back. Yes, the appeal did come back in. They declined it. He's out for the rest of the season, and I completely disagree with it. I don't think that there's been a precedent set for multi-game suspensions for a tackle within a game that didn't end a player's career. That player walked back up. No problem. So, to me, should have been a one-game suspension because that would have set the precedent. Happens again, multi-game suspension. How you do it in the NHL. Hasn't been done here yet. I like to see Uranus, and that's where we're going to stop the show here with our pie-in-the-sky fan here, lover of astrology, Cameron Dover ending the show here at the Strikers Inside Slant. I'm heading out. Good show, Stryker. Thank you, Miles. Thank you, all my friends. Guys, that's all the time I got for Strikers Inside Slant. It's been an hour, and we've already gotten to butt jokes. I've already taken a toke and had some beer with you guys. So I hope you enjoy your rest of your Boxing Day, St. Stephen's Day, Christmas break, winter break, whatever you're naming it as right now at this moment. And hopefully we can get another one this weekend and enjoy and talk about it next Tuesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. Same bat time, same bat channels, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube for Steeler Nation. Before then, you can go to SteelerNation.com, read our great articles there. Follow us on Twitter at Steeler Nation, Instagram and Facebook at SteelerNation.com, or come on over to the website, SteelerNation.com. Sign up for the football forum. It's free to join. Fun. Talk with great people all week before you get to see me and ask your questions live on Strikers Inside Slant. And I'm blessed to host this every week and love talking to all of you each week. So thanks for keeping me up and enjoying these shows, guys. So until the next time, Robert, I'll see you soon, my friend. Drew, I'll see you soon, my friend. Till next time, I'm Steeler Nation Stryker, rooting along with you as always.